Welcome back to New Jersey Motorsports Park. Coverage of the Playboy Mazda MX-5 Cup with Elliott Forbes Robinson. I'm Rick Benjamin. Derek Bernasiglio on pit road. Just under 13 minutes remaining here in the second race of our two-race weekend, part of the Mazda Formula X event. Todd Lamb in the 84, the pole sitter, has led just about all the way. Elliott, kind of a carbon copy of yesterday. Mark Miller in the 28 right behind him. Miller was able to lead a few laps yesterday. He hasn't been able to get to the front yet today.
No, it doesn't look like he has it today. You know, I still don't think he's saving anything. I think he's going as hard as he can. I just don't think he has anything for Todd Lamb right now. It seems like he's able to close up, and then Lamb was able to pull out a couple tenths that last lap. They seem to be very evenly matched. Yeah, no question about it. And in these kind of cars where the engines are sealed, the tires are identical, the equipment you're working with pretty much similar, it's just a question of setup and driver. When you're as consistent as Todd Lamb, you're going to be pretty hard to beat. Oh, it's true, and but you know, your consistency over races. Oh my gosh, look at these guys go. Yeah. They're going at it now. Lionel Kent there in the 13 car. He was the pole sitter in his first ever race in the series. First pro race, in fact, at Road Atlanta back in April. He's back around 12th right now, but he's got his hands full. There's Brett Smurs back behind him in that 6 car. Remember, Smurs wrecked that car yesterday. They worked on it overnight to get it ready. He's been off course once already today. He's climbed back up now into 13th, but really good battle. So this is about 10th on back. And you're in there nose to tail. They are. And, you know, as we see, they're nose to tail lap after lap. Every once in a while there is a pass, but it is hard to pass somebody. And, you know, especially in a case like this, you say, well, you get the draft. But, you know, it looks like Spurs was thinking about it anyway. When you get a draft, you got to remember the car in front of you is also getting a draft, so everybody closes up, and you kind of get to a terminal velocity in the back, and you can't make up the distance on the person in front of you. The white car there, Dean Copeland in the 7. He's been penalized by SCCA Pro Racing officials for that contact with Smurs on lap number 1. Not sure whether that penalty is going to be served later. Meantime, battle up front starting to heat up. Watching Mark Miller close right in on the back deck lid of Todd Lamb as they work to the backside of the racetrack. Derek.
Yeah, we were talking to a lot of the drivers earlier today. They said that track position is so important here, you've got to make your move early. It's very tough to pass, it's very tough to run side by side. So if you really want to make up ground, you've got to do it right at the beginning of the race or on one of the restarts. It gets really strung out here, so it gets tough once the field starts to break up. So you've got to make your moves very early if you want to run up at the front. Rick?
We'll see how this develops, Derek. Certainly watching this battle for the lead. I was wondering when Miller might be able to make a move as we get close to 10 minutes remaining. You've got about maybe 6-7 laps left here, Ellie. You've got to get going. Boy, it's true. It looks like Lamb had a little bit slower lap that last lap. He's been running in the 35s. He had a 36. I don't know if that was a mistake or whether something's going off on his car. But Mark Miller was able to close it back up on him. Looks like Mark is getting a little twitch here and there. He's trying really hard to get up in there and under the brakes coming in. That's an extremely difficult corner, too, coming into 10. It's a long sweeper that tightens up until it's really tight at the end. So you're having to brake really hard while turning hard in the car, and to get the balance on the car correct at that time is tough. Leaders coming out of the front straightaway to put lap number 19 on the board inside 10 minutes to go. Starter watching from the flag stand. Lamb in that blue and silver car, the 84 heading toward turn 1. Mark Miller right behind him in the 28. The race for autism machine. The gap back to third is considerable right now. It's about another 12 seconds back to Justin Piscatell behind these two lead cars. Piscatell running third. He's got about 0.6 of a second advantage over Nick Mancuso, who stayed in contact. This is Piscatell in the 89, the DAMG Motorsports entry. And Mancuso in the tire line car, the 29, the red and white car, he's been sliding that thing all over the place. He has been, but he's doing a very good job at driving today and just staying up there and running a very good up. And he's not letting Piscatell get away from him. Piscatell was way ahead yesterday from where he was, and now he's sitting up there running in a very good spot. And I think Nick is doing a super job of hanging in there, and maybe he'll have something for the end. You never know. But right now I think that Justin Piscatell is doing a great job in trying to get another podium, and I think he'll get it. But you know, the leaders have slowed down a little bit here. Yeah. Oh, trouble. Oh my gosh. The 10 car going around. That's one of the back marker entries. Chris Brown from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, one of the Alara Racing team cars, car number 10. Chris gets it pointed in the right direction. See what happened here. Yeah, coming around the corner, gets up on the curb. The curb set him sideways. And you know, this is harder to save at the end of the race. It looked like he should have been able to save it, but his tires get hotter and hotter. Once you break them loose, they don't seem to want to come back anymore. The grip isn't in them like they are at the beginning of the race. So Chris Brown able to get straightened around. He will get back up on the racetrack not figuring in the top 16 at the moment, back around 18th, 19th position. Meantime, less than 8 minutes to go as the leaders come down the front straightaway here at New Jersey Motorsports Park. They call this Thunderbolt Raceway. This is one of those facilities originally conceived as sort of a country club facility, a place for folks to come and just put their cars on the racetrack. A lot of times they're street cars, they're high-performance machines, and exercise those cars just a little bit. About a year and a half ago, the folks who own this facility decided, hey, we can host professional events here. So we've had the privilege of coming here a couple of times now for the Playboy Mazda MX-5 Cup and other series. Lamb starting to stretch it back out again. Look at that battle. It was close just a lap or two ago, and now all of a sudden Todd Lamb's opened up a dozen car lengths. Let's get it downstairs to Derek.
Yeah, guys, we've got less than 10 minutes to go in this race, and the crew chiefs are on the radio talking to the drivers, and they've basically told them it's all up to you from here. We can't do anything for you from pit road. You've got what you've got.
And that's the truth. That's what you've got at the end of the race, and you got to use it as hard as you can now, because the fact is you've only got a few laps to go, and you better get on with it. And it looks like Todd Lamb has been able to pick it up a little bit here. But you know, the interesting thing that's hard to do in these cars also is that when you get the tires off a little bit and you're having to go fast, and you're trying to, like these two guys up front, both Todd Lamb and Mark Miller, they want to go just a little bit faster. And you try and enter a corner a little bit faster, and instead of going faster, you end up going a slower lap.
Yeah.
So you've got to keep yourself to just do it right. Absolutely, don't make a mistake. Don't carry too much cornering. Don't get on the throttle too early, but just go without a mistake is going to get you a good lap time. Not driving harder, because quite often the driving harder will cost you half a second a lap.
We'll be right back with more of the Playboy Mazda MX-5 Cup at New Jersey Motorsports Park.